Hi everyone, and welcome to Creative Chelsey. Today I'm excited to share with you my third alternative card using the September 2023 paper pumpkin kit called With Love and Gratitude. This beautiful crafting kit creates 8 handmade cards and boxes, of course with a coordinating envelope. If you would like to watch me unbox this kit and create these projects, you can click on the playlist up here in the top right corner. And I also will link my other alternatives to that same playlist. Today I'm sharing this quick card that uses the pumpkin die cuts. If you are new to Paper Pumpkin and are interested in getting your own monthly crafting kit, you can subscribe using the link in the description below. I would love to be your Stampin' Up! Demonstrator and help you with any questions that you may have about Paper Pumpkin or Stampin' Up! Products. You can contact me through my email address listed at the bottom of the description of every video. We're going to first begin by creating, or at least cutting, the piece from the box template that came in the kit for this strip at the bottom. So you're going to grab all of your pieces that are left over from the first two alternatives that we've made, and you're going to find the piece that we need. So put the envelope piece down, we don't need that, and this is not the right one. So this one's kind of got the square with the flap on it. This one is too small, and so these are the two. This one is really skinny with the 2 flaps, so we're not going to use that one. And this one is wider, and it just has 1 flap on the top. So this is the piece that we're going to use. So find that piece, and we're going to just trim this down. First, remove the flap. We don't need that. And we actually can cut it. The final length that we need is 5 inches. So if you want to first cut it, I'm just going to cut it right here where the straight line turns into an angle. And then I'm going to kind of trim off. There's like this extra weird piece right here. I'm just going to kind of cut that off at like 1/8 of an inch or something because I don't need that. That puts me at sitting, I don't know, just a little smaller than 2 inches, which should be just fine. There we go. So I have a nice rectangle there, nice and straight all the way around. We're going to stamp on this, so put that off to the side. Another fun piece that I've added to this card is this little gold border along the edge. So I have cut a piece of gold foil, and this is an extra piece. It does not come in the kit. And this is actually if you have like a 6x6 piece of gold foil, then that's a perfect size because we're going to use this piece, which is 5 1/8 inch by 3 7/8 inches. And then for another card, I've got some strips of gold foil as well that I'm using. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut out the center so that we can continue to use just this piece on multiple cards. Okay, so I hope that makes sense. So this size here, again, is 5 1/8 inches by 3 7/8. And you can find all of the dimensions for my cards and all the pieces on my blog. And the link to that is below in the description. So just like we did for alternative number 2, we're going to cut out the center. And this time I want to have a 1/2 inch border. So find 1/2 inch on the right side, place your blade in the center and cut up to a 1/2 inch and down to a 1/2 inch. So that bottom 1/2 inch sits at about 4 inches or 4.5 inches or so. So then go up to that line and down to about 5.5 inches or so. Doesn't need to be too exact, as long as it connects with the next cut at a 1/2 inch. And if it goes over slightly, that's okay because we are covering it up. So as long as they all connect. If by chance some of them don't connect, just take your pair of paper snips and just finish that corner off. So like I said, we are going to be using this for some future card bases or cards, and so hold on to this. You can add it to your scrap pile. And now we have our frame that will be hidden underneath the this cardstock piece. So the card base that I'm using, the color is Copper Clay, and I have a piece that is 5 inches by 3 3/4 inches, and I'm going to emboss that with the timber embossing folder, and that just gives it some nice texture, and then I'll be right back. So once that's embossed, go ahead and add the gold frame to the back. So I'm going to do that with just a little liquid adhesive along the inside. Make sure to keep the adhesive away from the outside edge. And you're going to have a small little border. It's going to be about 1/16 of an inch all the way around. So once that's in place, you can flip it over and smooth out that liquid glue. Okay, so it looks something like this. And we'll add that to our card base, of course, with some dimensionals. So go ahead and pop on some dimensionals. Make sure to support the center with dimensionals as well. So once you have those dimensionals on, you can add it to the center of your card base. Just make sure your border is nice and even all the way around. For this card, we're going to use 2 ink colors. I'm going to use Copper Clay for my greeting because it coordinates with my card base. And I'm going to use Crumb Cake to stamp a very light image along or on that canvas pattern, just to give it some more interest. And I'm going to stamp the leaf. This is the leaf image here from the stamp that came in the kit. The Crumb Cake color is a little dark, and I really want it to be nice and light. So I'm going to ink it up first and then stamp off, and then I'm going to stamp on. And it can be a random pattern. It doesn't need to be perfect or in any certain direction. There are score lines on this paper here, so you may get some areas that don't stamp well. And if that happens, that's okay. Okay, so it's going to look something like this. You can see that there's some areas that it didn't stamp perfectly, but that's okay. So I'm going to take that piece and I'm going to add a little liquid adhesive on the back and place this about 1/4 of an inch or so from the bottom of the Copper Clay piece. So it's not going to cover up the gold. The edges should match with the Copper Clay. Go ahead and smooth that glue out just a little bit too. So like this. Next, we're going to grab the pumpkin die cuts from the kit, add some dimensionals, and you're going to take the leaf die cut and we're going to cut between the two. And it doesn't need to be a perfect cut because we're going to be hiding it. So just cut them apart so that you have a large and a small. And we're going to arrange these on our card. So first lay or add the pumpkin, let's do it about there, on the right side. And then you can add so that's the orange pumpkin. Here is kind of the white or pale pumpkin. We're going to add that a little lower to the left. Then you'll take your leaves, add a little glue. This is the large one. I'm going to slide it here on the right side. It's okay if it comes off that middle area. And then the small one, I'm going to slide on the left side. The key is you don't want to see the cut lines, so make sure to tuck them under far enough so that you don't see that they were at one time together. So for the greeting, I wanted to add a little bow that coordinated it again with that Cajun craze. That is Copper Clay. So the Copper Clay color. And so what I did is I took some of the vanilla baker's twine that comes in the, I think it's the Essentials pack. And I'm going to take some copper clay Stampin' Blend marker, and I'm going to add ink to the vanilla twine, baker's twine. And if you don't have this particular color of Stampin' Blend marker, you could do this with any colors. It is important that you roll the twine so that you can get all sides of it. So what I like to do is do one side and then roll it, and do another side and then roll it, and make sure it's nice and covered. And you just do that to the whole piece of twine. And I think I have here maybe like 16 or 18 inches or so, since I'm doing a double bow. I'm also going to stamp my greeting in that same copper clay color. And I wanted to use the thanks that comes in this kit. I'm going to stamp it on one of the banners from the kit, but I'm going to push it to the right, and I'm going to have some extra space there on the left so that I can tuck it underneath the pumpkin. So I'm going to use a glue dot for this. I'm just going to take one glue dot for now, and I'm just going to pop it on to the card base where I want to place my greeting. So it's right there. I'm not sure if you can see it, but it's right above my finger. I'm going to take the twine, place it in half, put the middle on the glue dot, and then put my finger where I want the loop to be and add the twine there. Be about the same right there. If I need another glue dot because I've covered it up, I can get another one and add it right on top. I'm doing a double bow here, so that's why we have a lot of extra baker's twine. So when you do a double bow, you would want to make sure that the two loops are similar size, but they don't need to be exactly on top of one another. Okay, it looks like I've got a little extra here. So I have about, I think I decided 18 inches is how much twine I used on that. So make sure that's adhered nicely, and then we can place some dimensionals also on the card. Hold things in place. And then you can tuck this under to right about there. Just make sure you cover up those dimensionals. That looks great. So if you want, you can also add some more of these sequins, and I've used these, I think, on all of my alternatives this week. So you can pop on some gold ones to coordinate with that gold detailing that we've added to the card. And your card looks like this. And it's all done. Well, I hope you enjoyed watching me create this fun card today. It's a nice, quick, and easy card. If you're interested in seeing written instructions or getting close-up images on how I created this card, you can visit my blog, creativechelsey.com. Thanks so much for watching. Have a creative day. Bye.